Saturday Social is powered by EA Sports FIFA 23 with PlayStation.
This is Ask Vieira. We gave you guys at home the chance to ask this man here absolutely anything on the Sky Sports social media accounts. Patrick, over 2,000 questions submitted for you. You ready for this?
I hope you choose the right question, yeah?
I've tried my best. I've ignored all Tottenham questions. I've ignored all of the Tottenham fans' questions. So we'll crack straight on with, who is the most naturally talented player that you ever played with?
I will have to say Dennis Bergkamp, because he was making everything look really smooth, really easy. You know, in the midfield, you can give him like the ball in his chest, he will make it look really good passes. Everything looked really, really easy for him. So I will have to say Dennis.
What was it like training with Dennis Bergkamp? Was it hard to get the ball off him? Because you just talked about there, he's a very graceful player, but I think underneath, very strong, very hard.
He was really strong, and he was always ahead of the way that he's seeing the game, and anticipation and his creativity. So he will read and understand the game before anybody else. So he knew where he wanted the ball and he will make his touch to create that space, to score goals, so to make something happen. So yeah, I would say the most complete players, I would say.
Love it. Okay, let's do the next one. Which current player in world football reminds Patrick the most of Patrick?
Listen, that is a really difficult one, but what I will say is I will mention maybe players that I really like.
Okay, yeah.
I like Kanté. I think Kanté is kind of modern holding midfielder, but can really go forward.
Yeah.
I think he's this kind of box-to-box player. He can be really dangerous going forward, but he's working quite really hard for the team as well.
Yeah.
Zaha at Arsenal, I think he's a team player. I think he's somebody that you may not gonna notice a lot, you're not gonna mention his name a lot, but he's doing a really hard work for the team. Fabinho from Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think he's, again, a team player who are working really hard to compensate the hold in the team. And he can play as well. He's really comfortable on the ball, and he's a type of players who you will not gonna notice, but he make all the other ones around look really good.
Okay, the next one. This is an interesting one. What is better, French football or French cuisine?
French football or French cuisine?
Famous for both, obviously.
Famous of both, because I think in France you have so many chefs with star Michelin.
Yeah.
And the football, because you won the Euros, you won the World Cup, you won the World Cup again.
Yeah.
And you have maybe two of the top 3 best players in the world with Benzema and Mbappe. So it's really difficult to choose. And
I'm gonna have to push you though. What are you picking? You can only do one for the rest of your life. Watch French football or eat French food.
I will choose the French food because.
Wow, that's huge.
No, but I'm not gonna choose. I'm not gonna choose the French football because all the best French players are playing abroad outside of Mbappe.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. If you were stuck on a desert island, which 2 Premier League managers would you pick to be stuck with?
Jurgen Klopp, because I think he's a really good sense of humor.
Definitely.
And the second one that I will pick, Brendan Rodgers, I think.
Wow. Jurgen Klopp. Why Brendan?
Because I think I will be talking football with him
for hours.
For hours.
So nobody's surviving here. Nobody's like.
But we will talk about something that we love is football, and you can exchange and talk football all day long with him.
The next question. This is a tough one, I think. A lot of people ask this one. Which of your former teammates was the best on a night out?
I will say Christophe Dugarry.
Oh wow.
Christophe Dugarry was really lively. He was good. You were guaranteed to have fun if you were going out with Christophe Dugarry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit as well about those early Arsenal days, because was it a bit of a culture shock when you arrived, in the late 90s? Were you shocked at how much people were going out?
Yeah, he was. Coming from Italy, he was. But I loved it. I loved it. I don't talk about the drinking culture. I was talking about the social life.
Socialising, yeah.
Socialising, exactly. Going out and having a drink and having a really good time. And I will say that period at Arsenal, of course, the best one that you want to follow because you guarantee as well to have a good time was Ray Parlour.
I was gonna say.
I think nobody's surprised about that one.
Was he a dangerous man to go a night out with though, Ray Parley? You had to be a little bit careful. You don't get told off the next day.
He was a dangerous man to go out with. Yes, he was.
This next one is a quote from Wilfried Zaha that I saw online, or a little video, where he says you wouldn't have been able to live with him as a player.
Yeah.
Do you agree with him?
Of course, I not agree with him at all.
How would you have stopped with Zaha then?
It would be really easy.
Yeah? You think it'd be no worries at all about it? Just,
not worried
just
at
kicking him
all.
up in the air, or too strong for him, or?
I think he will be impressed, I think.
With how good you were?
By how good I was, or by the physical presence. I think he will be scared and he will go to play in the other side of the field.
I wanted to speak to you a little bit about Wilfried Zaha as well, because we had a question here where you mentioned that he could potentially be a future Hall of Famer. And this person says, how does he get there?
I think the Hall of Fame is not just about what you won as a player, because you have players who play in those big teams, and of course you have more chance of winning silverware. But he's been at Palace for years, he's been performing year after year, he's been scoring goals, he's a really strong character. And I think those kind of players should be recognized as well and be part of the Hall of Fame. I think it's a bit easy, I would say, to select those players from Arsenal, United, Liverpool, because of course you have more chance. But what they've been doing with like Wilfried, what he's been doing with Palace has been, I think has been fantastic. And I think that should allow him to be there as well.
Absolutely. The next question, another massively asked question by your fans. Do you think you would have enjoyed playing for Sir Alex Ferguson?
I think any player at that period will enjoy playing for Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the people were asking this because, some people had seen rumours that back in the early 2000s, maybe you were close to joining, or is there ever any truth in that, or was that all just nonsense?
I think it is impossible during that period with the rivalry between these two teams to have one or any players going from one team to the other ones. I think you couldn't see Roy Keane going to Arsenal. You couldn't see me going to United. I think that wasn't in our mind. It wasn't in my mind, and I think wasn't in any of United players' mind at that time of period.
You would have started though in the midfield over Roy Keane or Paul Scholes? Who would you have started over?
Nah, I think Roy will be on the bench. He will be just dropped.
Absolutely. I want to go to our next question straight off the back of that, because it does involve Roy Keane actually, and it's a little clip I want you to react to.
Where's Patrick? Where's Vieira? In your
Patrick, what's your reaction to that?
I'm just going to look at the smile on his face. I think the smile on his face saying everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose the big question off the back of it is who pocketed who the most?
I don't know. I think the fans have to look at it and try to answer this question. I think we were in a different league, both of us. I think I've always been here and always been behind me.
Always behind you. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about the very famous tunnel incident by now, because this week I saw an interview with Rio Ferdinand where he claimed that maybe you gave Gary Neville a little jab in the ribs. Now I've never
jab
really
in the ribs?
a little in the build-up.
No.
Because I've never really heard your side of this story, Patrick. I've heard, Gary Neville's, I've heard Roy Keane's, I've heard all the Manchester United's, but you stayed very quiet. So what's the Arsenal side of this story?
That sounds really United players.
Yeah, they talk a lot.
They talk a lot. They're really busy, yes. No, that was the Gary Neville had this kind of habit of kicking players around. Find it really difficult, so the option was to kick people around. And of course, as a captain, and Roy as a captain of the other teams, defending our players, and that was, I think, a moment where both club players wanted to dominate the other one. So it was, when I look at those images again, to make me smile. Make me smile, because that was the good times of football, I would say.
Yeah, we need that rivalry back. We need more of that, the tunnel clashes, I say.
Yeah, but I don't think you need that to get this kind of rivalry. But that is two personalities, that is two football clubs, that is players who wanted to dominate, to win. And the games just change. The games change with VAR, the games change with all the cameras around.
Couldn't get away with it now.
Now it's really difficult to get away with it.
Patrick, Absolutely love that. Thanks so much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you very much.